This is a brief tutorial of Econoful's lesson plan, adding complexity to the PPF Part 1. It's designed for a 45-minute class. It's a part of our on-level, one semester high school curriculum. It's lesson 1.9. Before this lesson, we did an introduction to the PPF where students created their own PPF by doing a simulation and creating bookmarks. In this lesson, we're going to add in factors of production, opportunity cost, and shifts in the PPF. And then in 110, we continue to add on complexity and allow students time to practice and apply what they've learned. The activator starts with some retrieval about what they've already learned in the previous lesson and start to think about where we're headed in this lesson. We start by discussing what is needed to produce a cat condo or a doghouse. Hopefully students will say things like wood, tools, nails, maybe a person to build it, and we'll explain that these are all factors of production. We're going to give them a handout for them to take notes throughout this lesson, introduce the definition of factors of production, and then go through each one, starting with natural resources. Then we go into intermediate good and introduce that, human resources, and then capital resources. You'll notice this yellow stumbling block graphic in the corner. Whenever you see that, that's to alert you and students that this is a common area of confusion. And you can check the notes section of the slide where it will explain why it's a common area of confusion. So in this case, students might think capital is referring to cash or money, when really it's talking about physical capital like the stove or the pot in the picture. Then we want to introduce technology. In economics, we're talking about the knowledge and methods used to produce goods and services, and the level of technology is another thing that's going to contribute to the PPF. Up until this point, we've been using a straight line for the PPF and using examples with perfectly adaptable resources like panda or tiger bookmarks or cat condos and dog houses. And now we want to introduce that is a constant opportunity cost. You give up one doghouse, you get one cat condo, and vice versa. And now we want to think about when the resources are not perfectly adaptable, like in this example of scrunchies and burritos, and that creates the bowed out PPF shape because of increasing opportunity costs. We return to this question, which was asked in the activator: how might Petland achieve a production at a point that is not currently possible? And maybe students will say something about a rightward shift or an outward shift, and if so, great. If not, you can introduce the idea. We'll talk about what could create that rightward shift and think about how it might affect the residents of this country. We also want to think about what would create a leftward shift and how that could affect the residents of the country. We have a few practice problems so students can apply what they've learned. The handout looks like this. You'll cut apart these different scenarios. You'll distribute them to students. They'll have another handout where they can work through that scenario and graph it out. After around 4 minutes, they'll switch with another pair and work through another scenario. We have the solutions in the slides so you can debrief together as a class and catch any areas of misconception and correct them in real time. The summarizer has students thinking about where they're at by reflecting on their learning. And then if they're still feeling a little confused, to identify the area that they would like to learn more about. And that is my very quick overview. There is more in the lesson plan. You can find it at no cost at our website, econoful.org. You do need to create an account, which is free and easy for educators. If you do it, please let us know how it went. We've got this link to a 30-second feedback form in the slides of every lesson, as well as the lesson plan. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us. We are always happy to help.